YouTubers, what is up? It is Vinny Chill and Chris, and we are recording back to back. So you might notice we're still wearing the same outfit from the last episode. We do have wardrobe changes, just not tonight. So we're back again. We wanted to squeeze in another recording because we're actually kind of busy these days. Silver City Con took up quite a bit of time, and so we got other aspects of our life that are getting back to normal. So we're just trying to, record when we can. And so we thought we'd come back with another episode on the heels of the Suicide Squad episode and talk a little bit about TerrifiCon. So for those of you out there who are not familiar with it, TerrifiCon is Connecticut's bigger con, bigger than Silver City Con, although maybe not for long. But it is a great time. Chris and I have been going to it for several years now and looking forward to it as always. It's a great time, and I think the unique thing about it, if you agree, is that it's at a casino. So instead of being sort of stranded, at Javits Center away from Times Square or, one of these other cons, kind of like a smaller con like ours was, it's right in the middle of the casino. So you've got a ton of fine restaurants. You've got a bunch of shops. If you get bored, you can go to a dance club. You could go to a nightclub. You could go to a bar. You could go, just spend some time on the game floor playing craps, blackjack, whatever, and then go back in. Plus, it also has 2 hotels there, so you don't really have to go far to lug everything around if you're carrying around a backpack like most of us nerds do. I know you and I stayed there in 2019, and a little later on, I'll drop in maybe a file photo or 2 from that show. But I mean, what are your thoughts? Where does this fall in your ranking of cons that you normally consistently go to?
I mean, look, we don't go to a ton of cons. I mean, it costs a good amount, but TerrifiCon is probably by far my favorite because they do have a wonderful price list. They do, God bless you. They do, and they have everything. They have something for everyone. It's definitely it's a comic book convention, but it definitely has enough pop culture for anything you're interested in. And yeah, I mean, the line to get in usually isn't bad. It's well run. And then
who runs it, Chris? Give a shout out.
Was it Big Fedora Marketing? I don't know the full name, but was it Mitch Halleck?
I think so.
Met him a few times. He's a really nice guy.
Yes, he is. I met him at Cliff's not too long ago. Yeah.
Right. And really nice, down to earth guy for running a show that big. I'm like to pat ourselves on the back, but I don't know how he got that big. Maybe we'll talk to him. Maybe get an interview if we're lucky and take some notes. But I love that you can walk out and, like you said, like go get some decent food, not pay $10 for a couple like lukewarm empanadas at the Javits Center. And it's just, you can take a break, come back in. Like I said, the line's not long for going in and out. And it really is one of my favorite shows. I've always done well there, found really good things, and I'm pretty much primarily a comic book collector. But for those of you that love pops, video games, I love the artist Alley too. And then the celebrity signings, they usually have some nice displays with cars and some other things. They always just do it right. So
right,
it's probably my favorite.
Yeah, and the guest list hasn't been that bad. I mean, the last show, 2019, I was able to get Billy D. Williams. I know I've seen Dean Cain there. The guy who played I'm drawing a blank, but he was Iron Fist. He was in Game of Thrones too. Sir Lawrence, is that right? Maybe.
I forgot
Uh,
his name at this point, but yeah,
yeah.
it's
I almost body checked Mantis, right? Like I was reading something and just
oh,
walking with my head down, and I like almost like knocked her over
yeah,
2 years ago.
that's always fun to convince, just basically how
Yeah.
the celebrities walk through and things like that. But yeah, you
Sorry, by the way, if I ever
gotta
meet you. Sorry.
watch your step. Um, yeah, I mean, I think is Ron Perlman going to be this year? I mean, there really is something for everyone, and I just love the. It's the little things in life. Like there's high ceilings. It's not that hot. You're not sweating through a t-shirt. The
Ample
casino has
park,
all the huh?
ample parking, ample
Yeah,
air conditioning.
ample parking, free parking, those kind of things. It's it's a hop, skip, and a jump for us to get there. Coming from New York, they have shuttles, they have ferries that get you right to the front door of the place, and then they have accommodations. And there's other hotels in the area if it's booked up that you can go to and from, and and
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah, and they have after parties and all kinds of stuff like that. It's just it's a good time. So.
Yep. Yep. Shout out to Three Men in a Basement, of course. If they watch this, I know they're doing a live show from there at least one of the nights, I think multiple nights. So hope to see them there. I think they have a booth. And I know your personal friends, who I've met a few times now, Mike, owner of Next Generation Comics on Long Island, he'll be there with his booth. So check him out. He's always got some good stuff. And unfortunately wasn't able to make it to our show, but looking to catch up with him, and hopefully he can make it to our next show.
Yeah, right. Great deal. Is J&S, who was at our show, they're going to be
J and
there.
S is going to be there.
They
Absolutely.
always
Yep.
have, I mean, nice setup of wall books. Yeah, I mean, it's they get some great dealers, and it's gonna be nice to. It was nice for our show. It's nice for this, just to get back to a little normalcy, and just enjoy the day or the weekend or a 3-day weekend, whatever you can make.
Yeah. So, we're trying to keep this episode short, but just, give us a quick little rundown. I'll go a couple, you do a couple. Like, what are you hoping to get there? Is there anything that's really just been out of I mean, obviously earlier this year you got, I think, your Grail book, the 181 that you showed off, but what other books are you looking for?
I'm kind of going down that Wolverine train. So kind of looking for a 180. I don't know if I want to spend that much money. But I'm thinking about a Nyx 3. I like that 3-claw variant for
The
Wolverine
Dokken?
Origins 10. Yep, for first appearance of Dokken. Because a lot of the X-Men books are just super expensive. I think
Right.
Nyx number 3, there's not really a plan for any MCU or Dokken. But, I mean, there's no way we're not getting Wolverine. So I'm just interested in, those books and just kind of maybe complete the family tree. Maybe that Marvel Comics presents Reign. Get her first if I can get her. That's hard to find 1 in 25 second print. But I'm thinking Wolverine books as far as that goes for the
Right.
X-Men collection.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I'm trying to get, that Nyx book is, of course, on my list. It's always eluded me. I was able to trying to put together, a small run there. So the all new Wolverine 1, I've seen it a bunch of places raw, but I really want that graded in a decent grade. X-Men 450, 451, first appearance in X-Men and battle against the X-Men. So those, I have those, but I'd like to get, obviously the Nyx book and the all new Wolverine to kind of round out her, the Laura Kinney set. I am looking forward to, of course, get my 101 and J&S. Shout out to them. They've always got some great, Silver Age stuff, copper, bronze, modern. But they had the 101 at Silver City Con. It just wasn't graded. And I think because I love that book so much that if I'm going to get it, I got to just spend the extra and get it graded. So that's on my list too, as it always is. But definitely looking forward to that. Me and like everyone else out there who wants it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. On my end, definitely, I don't know about you, but the grading confidence is low. So I don't want to mess around with a book for $1,000 kind of unless I can really price compare and make sure I'm not. I mean, I don't know a damn thing about restoration really, unless it's like a piece of tape on a thing, like clearly, so I don't want to miss something.
Avoid rusted staples.
Yeah. Any of that moisture damage sucks.
Yeah.
But let me see what else. I mean, I'm kind of like looking for symbiote stuff. I don't know how it's going to be
I
I
mean, I
just
know
bought.
you're still looking for that book. I don't know
Yep.
if anyone there is going to have it. The J
Murder Bug
Scott.
books.
Yeah.
Yep. That book's on my list. I was able to get the first Carnage miniseries with Scorn. I kind of like my collecting has shifted because the prices are so crazy for a lot of books and these big keys. I was lucky to get the 181, like you said, this year. But it's kind of, well, I do have an Amazing Spider-Man 300. I do have 361. Excuse me. Um, it's just trying to still find things to collect or for runs and things like that I don't feel like I'm gonna miss a giant piece at some point that I just know it's completely unattainable. I mean, so symbiotes seem like a good run for me, and even some of the Spider-Verse characters. Like, we're lucky enough, you have the Miles book right there. I know you have the Spider-Gwen book, Silk right there on the wall. We both are lucky enough to have those books. So it's like Spider-Verse, another thing I'm looking for, like kind of, that kind of stuff. I just think there's a lot of value there. We're going to get another Spider-Verse movie. The Venom
Right.
vs. Carnage movie's coming out. We're all on bated breath to see if they're going to connect to the MCU. So
Yep.
that's probably another big thing.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's just, when they finally do that sort of marriage between Sony and, the rumors that Tom Hardy will jump or Tom Holland will jump, vice versa, and we'll start seeing them in Sony pictures and MCU pictures. So yeah, I think there's still a ton of room to run on those symbiote books. And then of course you keep plugging Null every time, and yeah, they very well may do that at some point, and so we'll see maybe some other characters come out too. I guess, for me, that's, 101, I guess, is probably at the top of my list. I mean, I don't know. I know you're bringing books to trade. I'm also, I wish I had jumped in when you did years ago. You were able to get indirectly, let's say, the Giant Size X-Men one, and shout out to your wife, yes. I'm thinking of maybe now's the time to trade. I don't know. Like, I keep seeing it's on the wall over here next to me somewhere. I mean, I've got that, that other X-Men 129 that I got in a 9 something years ago, and that's, I don't know, quadrupled more than that in value. I mean, maybe I throw that and that'll take a third of the chunk off of like a lower grade Giant Size X-Men. I don't know. I'm
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been able to give up one of the Preciouses yet. So, anything like I'm bringing a trade is, just lucky to, like everything else, you're lucky to have it now, and it's just, you bought a collection or something and had some stuff in there that now is hot. I mean, honestly, I like to take everything, and probably the next grail I really want is Showcase 22. I want that Green Lantern book. I have most of the other major characters, a few smaller characters, but and some of the villains I don't have. But I mean, that's the big book for my Green Lantern collection, and I mean, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, well, another thing I carry really not a lot of spec behind at this point, but I mean, Hellboy. I really enjoy all Mike Mignola's art and all the other artists that worked on the DPRD and things like that. But I think like now's the time to go get those books. I think they're really cool. I was lucky enough at New York Comic Con to get on for the second movie with David Harbour. Get an autographed poster and things like that from Dark Horse. I think it's Dark Horse. Yeah, it must have been. So just kind of some stuff to go on the wall with that. We'll see. And then on my end, everything could get completely derailed because I find a piece of artwork from they have an awesome guest list, but a piece of artwork that I really like. And check out our Instagram. We've shown a couple pieces of art here. But we're putting up some of our artwork collection. We just put up a jam piece. We showed the Star Wars pages a little while ago. So like that stuff I really love, and it's one of one. So when you see it, you buy it or you don't, and you roll the dice.
Yep.
So we'll go out the window real quick.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up in just a minute. I know we said we were going to talk for 10. We're now coming up on 15.
No.
So just a couple last things on my end. You mentioned the Grail, and I recently shout out to Coffee and Comics who were at our show in Meriden. I was able to get one of my Grails, and it's really only because this is such an awesome cover. And it's still a recent book, just a couple years old, but it's so nice. I love it. This one I am probably going to bring to drop off and get graded, fingers crossed. And then this one too, Comic Mint was again at our show. And shout out to Comic Mint right here locally, for me at least, in Stamford, Connecticut. And they're going to have Shannon Mayer at their booth. I don't know if it's the whole weekend, but I think definitely at least Saturday he's going to be there. And I've got a few different Shannon Mayer special covers that I'm going to bring to get signed. One of them is right here. So this was the limited edition Harlequin. I got the triplet, so the trade dress, limited trade, and Virgin. I think this Virgin is only one of 600 that he did. So gonna try to get this graded, signed and graded. And then that sort of leads us to the last thing I wanted to talk about, Chris. So apparently there'll be no CGC booth there. They might be having, you said, like a liaison or something there to maybe like do verified signatures, but seems like they won't have a booth to drop stuff off like they did 2 years ago. But CBCS will have a booth. So if you're going to get stuff graded, CBCS seems like it's your only option. And I know, talking to some other people, that they would prefer, if CGC was even there, they would still prefer to drop stuff off at CBCS. So what are your final thoughts on that?
I believe, yeah, you're correct. I didn't see CGC on the list. I believe it's the company's Agents of Slabs. They're going to be there to facilitate signatures and set up the signature series so you can send it in. I just hear the wait times for CGC are so long, so I don't know when you get those books back. I mean, I think we both had. I've only used CBCS once, had a great experience with them. CGC, I've only really submitted books a couple times, had a good experience both times. I mean, I might go CBCS because I just like the slabs. They look nicer on the wall, especially if you have other slabs. Everything kind of looks equal, like what you have behind you. It looks good. And I might go CBCS. I mean, they're the only ones that verify signatures if you're doing it that way. I think they're a lot cheaper. So I think the resale value is catching up for that point. But I mean, and again, to everyone watching out there, like we're collectors. I don't really resell things. I guess if it's so vital, maybe I could have something cracked out. I do have like one PGX book. I know the stigma associated with that, but so I'm kind of up in the air right now. But I'm thinking CBCS is getting 5 or 6 books for me.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this might be the time for me to pull the trigger. I know I was thinking closer to probably like 15 to 20 range for me. I got to see what that's going to cost me. But yeah, especially if we're going to have to wait months, might as well just pull the trigger and get it done now. Unless I'm waiting to get a signature on it at New York Comic Con, then might wait a few months. But yeah, if it's just something I don't care about, and might as well just start the clock ticking now.
They're saying it's 8 months to get your books back.
Yeah.
And if you get it pressed, I heard you're looking at over a year. So.
Wow. Well, yeah, and that's just gone up because I know from 2019 it was like 6 months to get it back. So it just keeps ticking up.
I think right August too. I believe I think I got them back just before Christmas, and you got just after Christmas. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe now is a appropriate time to bring it up. I mean, yeah, I haven't had a problem with CGC, but yeah, that one time we dropped off in August, and they told me I'd get it back by the end of the year. I ended up getting one, I think, end of January, almost February, so it was like almost 6 months. And then the other book they lost. They just straight up lost it, and they actually let me, and it was a signature series that I had signed by who was it? Zach Beatty. Yeah. And so they replaced it, ordered the book off eBay, in the same grade in 9.6, signed by the same two people, and paid, the value to get it replaced by just buying it off a dealer on eBay. So that was not a good experience.
Right thing, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. Very frustrating, because by the time that happened, it was springtime. So it was, or end of winter. So it was a long wait. So probably go CBCS this time around. But I mean, hopefully you guys found this a little bit insightful. Of course, you can just go to the TerrifiCon website and see the list of guests and all the different vendors that are going to be there for yourself. But hopefully we provided you with a little bit of anecdotes and a couple of other unique remarks, such as this photo that I'll drop in right now. And that is something that you will only find at Comic-Con, that combines nerds with nightclubs and copious amounts of alcohol.
Things you don't see every day, man. That's it.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Not around here, no. Man, I live in a rough neighborhood or a good neighborhood. I don't know. Wrong side of the tracks, either way.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you find this a little bit insightful. If you want to comment, please do. We'd love to hear about your experiences at past TerrifiCons, or if this is your first time, what you're hoping to find, what books are on your list, on your Grail list to grab there, and maybe we'll meet you and see you there. Of course, we're going to do a little bit of filming, so in an episode probably in August, later August, we will drop on you some of our footage from the showroom floor there. But again, like always, until next time, stay safe, stay nerdy, and we're out.